welcome to the class. The first thing you need to do is you need to go to aplusstudents.com. Then you need to select math as your subject. Okay. Once you've selected math as your subject, you need to go to your grade level. Your grade level is grade 1. Okay. Go into grade 1s. And once you're in grade 1s, what you need to do is you need to select the topic. The topic for today is subtraction skill builders. Okay, we are looking at different types of subtractions today. Okay, so once we are in subtraction skill builders, what we need to do is we need to look at the chapter number, and the chapter number is chapter number 4. The chapter is chapter number 4, and the lesson for today is lesson number 10, and the name of the lesson is subtracting a zero. Okay, this is a 0. So we will be seeing what happens to the quantity when we subtract a 0 from it. Okay, so let's start off with the topic. So we go into grade 1s. Okay, we go into chapter number 4, that is subtraction skill builders, and the last lesson, that is subtracting 0. Okay, the first question we have is, it says subtract. The term subtract means we need to remove, right? And the first question says 8 minus 0. So let's see. We have a grid for our reference. We can always use the grid for our reference. I'll just copy it on the screen. Okay, and then we'll go through it. So we can either use this grid that gives us the values of the subtraction. A 0 means nothing. Hi, Eddie boy. Okay, so welcome to the class. And what we are doing today, we are subtracting a 0. So let's suppose if we have 8 of anything, right? And we are subtracting a 0 from it. So how much would be left out of 8? It would be, let's look at another example of what it could be. If we have, let's suppose if we pick up a number, sorry, if I would just take it on the other screen. Okay, so this is our screen over here, and we wish to see, sorry, let's close this. Okay, let's stick to this. So yes, that means if we subtract 8 minus 0, that means we are not giving away anything, and we are still left with an 8, right? I was just trying to copy some images. Let's do with a different set of images. Okay, another question is, the second question we have is, if we try to subtract a 0 from 6, let's suppose if you have 6 stars. Okay, let's make 6 stars over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Agreed? So out of this 6, we give away none. N-O-N-E. None means 0, right? So we are giving away 0 stars. We are keeping all the stars to ourselves. That means how many stars would you have? If we do not give away anything, that means we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, we have 5, and we have 6. So if we do not give anything away, the rule stays the same. The number is always the same. So 6 minus 0 would always be equals to 6. If you subtract 0, hi Krinsley, welcome to the class. If we subtract 0 from any number, okay, it could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 10. If we subtract a 0 from any number, that means we are not giving away anything, and the answer would always stay the same. Agreed? Let's look at another example. So the question number 3 we have is, let's see what we have in question number 3. It says subtract, okay, 4 minus 0. That means if you have a quantity of 4, right? If you have 4 of anything and you do not give away anything out of those 4, so how much would be left? Referring to this grid also, we can say that when we look at the grid, we can look for 4. Over here, we can find 4. 4 minus 0, if you open up 4 fingers, minus 0. No, Princely, it cannot be 67, right? If you open up 4 fingers and you do not close any finger, right? Then still your 4 fingers are open, right? That means 4 minus nothing. That would always stay as the final answer. If you subtract 0, if you minus 0 from any number, yes, it will stay as 4. Thank you for your answer, both of you. So one rule we need to remember, any number minus 0 does not change the number, right? So if I would say, if we look at, okay, let's change something in the next question, okay? Okay, the next question says subtract 7 minus. Okay, in question number 4, if I say subtract 7 minus 0, that means if we had 7 boxes, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Let's suppose we had these 7 squares, right? And if we are not giving away any of these boxes, that means what we had in the beginning, we will keep it till the end. That means how many would be left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, right? Agreed? 7 would be left. But if I change a small value in the same question, okay? If I try to change something in this question, in question number 5, I would say I'm linking question number 4 and question number 5 together. Let's see. If there was another number, yes, it stays as 7. But if I would change the question number 4 and I would say subtract 7 minus 1, right? Now what I'm trying to do is, if I say it is 7 minus 1, I'll just copy these 7 boxes over here and let's fill up with a different color so that we have a better view. Okay. If these were 7 boxes, 0 means no change. No change. Okay. 0 means the number stays the same. But if we subtract any other number from a given number, the number will change, right? This number, it will change. Agreed? Because we are subtracting something. Yes, thank you. 7 minus 0 was 0. And thank you for the answer. If we had 7 of these boxes, if we remove one box, we always start from the biggest number, right? So how many boxes are now left? Now we are left with 6, because this number was not a 0, right? If this number, the number that is removed is a 0, then there is no change, right? Okay, open up your palms right now. When you open up your hands, you can count 10 fingers, right? But if I tell you to not close any fingers, that means do not close any finger means minus 0. So how many fingers are still open? 10 will stay open, right? That means whenever we minus a 0, the answer will always stay the same. Okay? So let's look at another. I'll just put them in a box together so that we would know that the question number 4 and question number 5 are linked together. At looking at the difference, when minus 0, no change. Minus another number, there is always a change. Okay. So let's look at question number 6. The next question says subtract. And I hope and I expect like you have done the previous questions, right? Previous topics, completed the questions from the test. Please do if you haven't done it. If I would say question number 6 says 3 minus 0. So what is the rule for subtracting a 0? What is the rule for subtracting a 0? Whenever we subtract 0 from any number, the number does not change. And we can see this in the grid over here. If we had 3, if we were not subtracting anything from 3, right? It will stay as the same number as it was over here. It will stay as 3 because we subtract 0. Yes, thank you so much, both of you, for answering, right? So we need to remember the rule. When we minus 0 from any number, the number stays the same. We minus any other number like 1, 2, 3, any other number from the number, then it will change. If 0 is there, no change. Okay. Let's look at question number 7. And the question number 7 says subtract. Okay, let's get the values. You'll have the same question on your screen once you've logged in. Okay. So the next question is 5 minus 0. Okay. So how can we say 5 minus 0? What should be your answer? 5 minus 0 is always equals to, see, if you open one palm, your one hand has how many fingers? They have 5 fingers, right? So if 5 fingers are open and I ask you not to close any finger, that means 5 minus 0 would mean your 5 fingers are still open, right? That means the rule for subtracting a 0 is any number minus 0 will stay the same. So we can say 5 minus 0 will still stay the same, right? It does not change. Agreed? Okay, thank you. Moving on to the next question. Okay. The next question is a little tricky. Okay. The next question says, question number 8. Question number 8 says, subtract 0 is a number minus a 0. Okay. So this example is, I'll write it down in words. If you have no candies, okay, can you share with others? So the question says, I am 0 minus 0. Yes. So if I'm saying, if I ask you for a candy and you do not have any candy left, right? So that means you still have a 0. So our rule is any number that subtracts a 0 stays the same. That means you do not have any candies, right? So you would have 0 candies, right? You do not have. That means 0 is written in form of a circle. Okay. Thank you. Moving on ahead to the next question. That would be question number 9. Okay. We look at question number 9 and it says subtract 2 minus 0. Okay. If you have, okay, let's suppose if I have 2 pencils, right? And I did not use or I did not sharpen any pencil. I did not use any pencil. So how many pencils will I have? If I had 2 of the pencils and I did not use any of the pencil yet, so I still have, how many pencils will I have? I will still have the 2 pencils, right? Because we know the rule. Thank you so much for the answer. We know the rule that whenever we subtract a 0, the number does not change because we are not removing anything. Okay. For the next question, the question number 10, it says subtract. Yes, 2 is the answer. Okay. Thank you. So moving on to the next question. When we look at the next question, it says 7 minus 0. Okay. So what would be 7 minus 0? We know the rule that when we subtract a 0, right? I'll write down in words Z-E-R-O, a 0. The number does not change, right? The number stays as it is. It's like you have 7 candies, you did not eat any one of those. So at the end of the day, you still have 7 left with you, right? Whenever it's a 0, minus subtracting a 0 from any number, the number will stay the same. Very good. Thank you so much for responding. Moving on ahead, the next question we have is, it says, question number 11 says, subtract 9 minus a 0. So if we remove 0 from 9, we will be left with if you had $9, if you did not spend anything, you minus a 0. Whatever you spend, you did not spend anything, right? So how much would you be left? Yes, you will be left with the original money that you had earlier, right? So we can say 9 minus 9 would be 0. The same thing can also be written as 9 minus 0 will be equals to 9, right? So we can write both the ways. We can write this way or we can write this way. They both are the same thing written, right? So the next question we have is 8 minus 0. Okay, let's see. Question number 12 says subtract 8 minus 0. Okay. Grinsley, let's focus. Okay. What is 8? I know it's very easy, but we need to repeat, right? So that we remember. I will change some values also. Next question, let's change it. Okay. 8 minus 0 means the easiest way we remembered I told you was write the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. This was a minus 0, right? So if we do not remove anything, what is the largest number? We have 8 as the answer. But if I would change the question a little and I say in question number 13, can we subtract 8 minus 1? What is 8 minus 1? Now I'm changing from 0 to 1, right? Our focus is 0. We are looking at 0. But if other than 0, it's any other number, whenever we subtract with 0, that means there is no change. The number stays as it is. But when we subtract 1 from, okay, so let's suppose if we have circles, let's suppose we have 8 circles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, we had 8 circles over here. And out of these 8 circles, we had to remove how many? In question number 13, we had to remove 1. So let's number them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So whenever we need to subtract a number, yes, thank you so much, Kunsti, for the answer. So whenever we need to subtract, we remove the largest number first. We remove 7. Oh, so we remove the largest number, that is 8. And therefore, the answer comes out to be 8 minus 1 is 7. So this means when we subtract any number other than 0, right? When we subtract any number other than 0, then the answer will change. But whenever we subtract 0, answer does not change. It stays the same, right? Moving ahead further, let's look at what they're asking us in the next question. Okay, this is very simple, but we need to complete the questions and we need to complete the test as well, right? So that we would know how much we understood. The next question says 4 minus 0. The next question is saying 4 minus a 0 should be equal to what? Can I have the answer? What is 4 minus 0? If we had 4 of these shapes, sorry, I'll just copy. If we had 4 of rectangles, right? If we had 4 rectangles and we need to remove no rectangle from it, and we are trying to remove no rectangle. If we have 2 rectangles, we make another copy, and the total were 4 rectangles, right? We can number them. We can say this is rectangle number 1, 2, 3, and 4. That means if you draw 4 rectangles and you do not erase any rectangle. So at the end of the day, yes, thank you for the answer. At the end, you will still have 4 rectangles left, right? You will be having 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the remaining rectangles because you did not erase any of the rectangles. Thank you so much. Let's look at the next question. Question number 15 says subtract. Okay, subtract. Let's look at what value is in the question. Okay, it says 3 minus 0. So if we need to subtract 0 from 3, so 3 minus 0 would mean if we had 3 triangles, triangle number 1, okay, we had another triangle, triangle number 2, and we had the third triangle, right? We have 3 triangles in the total, and we leave all 3 there. Yes, thank you so much, Crinsley. That means we are not erasing any of these triangles, we are not removing anything. And we also know the rule that whenever we subtract a 0, the answer will always stay the same. Thank you for the answer. The answer stays the same, and the answer was 3, because we were doing 3 minus 0. Yes, the answer is 3. Thank you so much for answering. Okay, question number 16. It says subtract. Okay, what is, okay, very good question. 1 minus 0 should be equals to 1 minus 0 should be equals to, if you got, if you have one sticker of star, right? Or you have any sticker, I'm just using a basic, and you do not use it, you do not paste it anywhere, right? You're not pasting it anywhere. So how many stickers would be? Yes, you would still be left with the one sticker. That means 1 minus 0 stays as 1. Agreed? It will always stay as the same number. Okay, thank you. Moving ahead to the next question. Okay, we just try to do as many questions as we can so that you would not have problems while you are doing the test. Okay, so the next question is question number 17, and it says subtract 9 minus a 0. So what should be the answer if you subtract 0 from the 9? And we remember how we subtract, right? Let's look at the grid. I'll just copy the grid for you so that we have it for information, for our reference. We know that whenever 9 minus 0, let's look for 9 first over here, okay? Let's start looking for 9. This is 9. No, no 9. 9. No, we cannot find 9. This is not 9. No 9. Oh, we found the 9 over here, right? So what is 9 minus 9? Yes, the 9 minus 0 would always stay as 9 because 9 minus 0 stays as 9 because when we subtract a 0, the answer stays the same, right? Thank you. Okay, let's go to the next question. The next question we have is, it says subtract 3 minus 0. Okay. So if we have 3 circles, let's suppose 1 circle, 2 circles, and we had the third circle, right? If we assume 3 circles we have, and we shade these circles for our convenience, we number them 1, 2, and 3. So what should be the answer when 0 is minus? 3 minus 0 means we are not removing any circle. How many circles are left? If we are not removing any circle from this, then how many circles will be left with us? We will be left with 3 circles because minus 0 means we are not removing anything. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, okay, let's try to do some more questions. Let's try to do some questions from the test. Okay, I'll see if I can do more of these. Yes, I think we have more. Okay, yeah, let's try some more, then we'll do the test. Question number 19, it says subtract 5 minus 0. So by now we would remember the rule, right? If we subtract 0 from 5, it should always stay the same, right? So if we have 5 stars, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If we had 5 stars and we are not subtracting anything, we are not changing anything in it, right? So how many stars are left with us? We are left with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yes, thank you so much. We will be left with 5 stars. So we know the rule that when we subtract 0, there is no change, right, in the number, because we are not removing anything, right? But 0 is still a number, right? Because it can be subtracted, it can be multiplied, it can be added. All operations can be done on it, right? So any number minus 0 will stay the same. Okay? Let's do some questions from the test. I'll give you the options A, B, and onwards, and we'll see which is the correct. Let's click on the test. Okay. Let's try to do the test. Please do complete the remaining questions at home. Okay. We'll begin with the first question. And the first question says, I just clicked on it. Okay. And the question number 1 says we have 2 options as the answer. I'll write down option A or option B. Okay. This is the first question we have. Question number 1 from the test says 0 minus 0 can be option A or option B. What is 0 minus 0? When, let's suppose right now, maybe you do not have an ice cream, right? If you do not have an ice cream, you cannot give away an ice cream, right? If you do not have a candy, you cannot give away a candy, right? So when you have, let's suppose you do not have a candy in your pocket right now. That means if you do not have something, you cannot minus from it. Yes, 0 is the correct answer. But which option? Option A or option B? Yes, thank you, Prinsley. Option number 1. So we do it together. Please click on option number 1. Okay, yes, it is correct. And if you will make a mistake, it will show you on the screen what is the correct answer, right? If you're doing the test on your own and you make a mistake, always look at the working, the explanation, okay? So the next question we have is, it says, the question number 2 says, subtract 2 minus 0, and the options given are A and B. So what option should be the correct answer? This is question number 1. For question number 2, what option should be the correct answer? If you had 2 of something, right? Let's suppose you had 2 pencils. I'll do the example again. If you had 2 pencils and you did not give any pencil away, so you will be left with 2, right? But which answer should be correct? Option number A or yes, thank you. It should be option number B. So we click on option number B and we say that option B is the correct answer. Okay, let's try that. There are total 19 questions. Okay, we will try to complete as many as we can in the class today. So for question number 3, they say this is the question. Okay, I'll just move it ahead. This is question number 3. And these are the 2 options, option A and option B. So can we find which option is the correct answer? If you had 9 something, if you had 9 of slices of cake, right? Yes. And you did not eat any of them, or you did not give away any of them, then you will be having the same number left. But add what should be the option, A or B? 9 is correct, and the option should be, see, whenever we are given an MCQ means we are given multiple choices to find the answer, right? So we always find the answer and then we look at the options. Which two options we have? That means this would be option B. Yes, option number 2. Thank you so much. I click on the option number 2. Okay. Moving on to the next question. The next question says 7 minus 0. Okay. I'll just copy paste it over here. Okay. These are the two options we have. And what we need to do is we need to solve question number 4. And the answers are given as 0 and 7, right? So 7 minus 0 would be, yes, thank you. Option number 2 was 9 in the previous question. In question number 4, it says 7 minus 0. So if you had 7 of something, like if you had, let's suppose you had $7, you did not spend anything. 0 means nothing, right? So you did not spend anything. How much money would you be left at the end of the day? 7 minus 0. Or you had 7 candies, you did not eat any. Thank you so much for the answer. And which option, A or B? You gave the answer, but you also need to select the option. Is it option A or option B? Let's suppose you had 7 candies and you did not eat any of those, right? So how many are you left with? Your answer is 7, and that's perfectly correct. But can you give me the option, A or B? Which option should be correct? Because in the test we have options, right? We have to select between these two answers. Yes, option number B is the correct answer. Thank you so much. Both of you, thank you so much. So let's do it together. We click on 7 and it shows the correct answer. I hope you're doing the test along with me, right? So that we would be able to complete maximum number of questions together. Moving ahead, we have the next question says subtract, okay, 8 minus 0. This is question number 5 with the options A and B. And it says 8 minus 0. So what should be your answer? If you had 8 of something, right? Yes, thank you. Option B is correct for the question number 4. Let's look at question number 5. If you had 8 of something, anything of your choice, if you had the 8 of those, you gave away nothing, or you did not eat out of it. Yes, thank you, Crensley. The complete answer you gave, that is, we will be left with 8. And that is option number 1. Thank you so much. We always give the complete answer, right? Because there are 2 options. They are not only asking us what the answer is, they want us to click on the correct option that is available. Moving to the next question. The question number 6 says subtract 2 minus 0. Okay. This is option number A. This is option number B. Yes. Thank you. Option A was correct for question number 5. But once we look at question number 6, what should be correct? If you had a pair of, let's suppose, 2 ice creams, right? Yes, thank you so much, Princely, for the complete answer. Yes, thank you. Option B, that is also correct. So we say 2 minus 0. Whenever we remove a 0 from a number, the number does not change. It stays the same. And we look for the option. Yes, it is option B. So we would click on option B. Let's click on option B and see if our answer is correct. 2 minus 0 will always stay as 2. For the next question, this is something we already did. The next question we have already done. So we should be able to know what the answer is. For question number 7, sorry. So question number 7, I'll just enlarge this so that you can read this easily. Question number 7 says subtract 0 minus 0, right? We did this example previously, right? And the example was like, if I am asking you for a pen, right? And you do not have a pen. So if you do not have anything, can you give it away? Yes, thank you so much. That means if you do not have something, you cannot give anything out of it. So if this number was 0, thank you, Princely, then 0 minus any number minus 0 would stay as the same. And that means option A is the correct answer. Thank you everyone for answering. Yes. Moving ahead, let's look at another question. Okay, we are done with 7 questions already, right? We almost halfway done and a few more are left. Let's do a few more, and the remaining, if there are any, you do it as a homework, right? Sorry. So this is question 7. Let's do question number 8. And I would just paste this over here. Okay. For question number 8, it says subtract 7 minus 0. Which option should be correct? If it is 7 minus 0, which option should be correct? Option A or option B? Let's suppose you had 7 packs of biscuits, right? You did not eat any. That means how many packs of biscuits are left? Yes. So the rule for, thank you so much for your answer. It's a correct answer. Okay. What you are saying is, if we had 7, 7 would be left, right? And let's look at both the options. Option A was 0, no, incorrect, but option B is the correct answer, right? Thank you for the answer. Moving ahead, let's look at, we mark on the 7. Yes, it's correct. The next question we have is subtract 9 minus 0. And the two options that are given to us are, let's look at the two options. Okay, these are the two options that are given to us. This is question number 9. And the option A and option B. So what should be the correct? 9 minus 0 should be equal to, yes, thank you, Prinsley. 9 minus 0, any number minus 0 stays the same, and that is option number B. Okay, very good. Thank you so much. And the next question says subtract 6 minus 0. Okay. So the next question we have, it says subtract 6 minus 0, right? So what would be the answer? Option A or option B? This is question number 10 for us. And these are the two options that are given to us, okay? If 6 minus 0, and the rule for subtracting 0 is that we are not removing anything, right? So the number would always stay the same. Yes. Thank you. That means 6 minus 0 stays as 6, and that is option number A. Okay. We are done with 10 questions. 9 are remaining. Kindly solve them at home, okay? And if there is any problem, just go through the lesson again, okay? Thank you so much for being there. Best of luck and take care.